Hey, how are you doing, boys? Guys, welcome to the video. So today on DMZ, we're going to be going over my sound settings, something really requested in the comments and my streams. How do I get the footsteps sounding so clear and so loud? And how does the game just sound really good overall? Okay, so this focuses on overall sound, so not just only footsteps, which Artist War focuses on. And I highly suggest if you are playing things like Warzone Ranked, and that is your main game mode, to checking out Artist War. In fact, I will be leaving a video link in the description down below on how to activate a certain feature which you may not have when we go over some settings. So I have to thank him so much for this, because I couldn't do this until I saw his video. So if you're looking for really kind of loud footsteps, in the sense of it's the only thing it kind of focuses on, but maybe some of the sound a little bit different, Warzone kind of related, I would say go and please check out Artist War. This is mainly for overall sound. This kind of focuses on everything. It makes the footsteps louder, nice and clear, but overall the game just sounds really nice. So let's get straight into it. So I'm going to focus on the in-game stuff first, and this is good for also console players and PC players. Everything after this is mainly for PC players, so sorry for my console guys. You can follow this along, but after that, unfortunately, you can't copy the next stuff. But we'll go over this first because this may help you. Yeah, so I run the audio mix on PC. I run the master volume on 50 because PC seems to be louder than the other ones, but I do find PC to be the most clearest. Okay, so master volume is going to be very preference to you, but just muck around with it depending on your system. Gameplay music I have on 0. Dialogue I have on 70 because you do want to hear the voice letting you know certain things like enemy operators in the area, enemy platoons in the area, SAM sites getting activated, UAVs getting on. You do want to hear that even when you're in the action, to give you heads up on important information. Effects volume is like your footsteps, things like that. You definitely want that on 100. Voice chat you do want on, but it is very loud and you don't want it being very distracting. So you want to have it at a very low volume, but enough so you can hear what they are saying, especially when it's like platoons and they're kind of all squadded up and they're communicating in game. It's going to give you a little heads up on what they're doing. You may be able to counter them, for example. Cinematic music I have on 4. I do like to have a bit of cinematic music. This is preference. You can turn this to 0 if you don't want any music at all. Wall track volume I have on 0. Scrolling down, speakers, headphone and game sound devices, basically whatever device you're using to listen to Call of Duty. Okay, so your headset, for example, this is what you want to select. Speaker output I have on Windows default. The other one is stereo. I don't want to change this to stereo, so I'm just gonna have it on Windows default. And then everything else I haven't really changed. Obviously you want the prox chat on so you can hear people. I have all this on, and then scroll down to which may be able to help you out and just kind of reduce sound a little bit, is reduce tightness sound. I have that as on. That's when flash grenades go off. It kind of gets rid of that kind of shell shock annoying sound and just makes it a little bit more kind of dull, and it's not as extreme basically. And this stuff doesn't really affect like Juggernaut music, doesn't really affect DMZ. I have the normal hit markers and mute game when minimized I have to off. Okay, so that is my sound settings in game. Everything else now is going to be PC related, so let's now switch over to the desktop to start adding some applications. We only need to add 2 applications. It's not too complicated at all. It's a lot less complicated than my previous one, so you should all be able to follow along. So let's head straight over to the desktop. So the first thing I want you to do is go on to your start, click on start, and then here I just want you to type in mmsys.cpl. all right, and once it decides to load, it'll be something called a control panel item. It'll look very similar to this. You just want to click on that, and that's going to open up your sound settings. Right now you don't have to worry about recording sounds or communication. Just keep on the playback and just look at what your default device is. It should be whatever you use to listen to Call of Duty or your games, etc. YouTube, whatever you're watching should be the default device, right? I just want you to take note exactly what this is for you. All right, so for me it's speakers 1, Wi-Fi, HD, USB audio. Okay, so that's what I use for everything. Yeah, so just take note of it, jot it down on a notepad or something, but just take note of what this is called, the top bit and the bottom bit. Then click on properties, and you don't have to worry about general or levels. This is going to be preference to you. Under advanced, you want to make sure that you're on 48,000 hertz. Ignore the 32-bit. Yours most probably may not have that, so maybe go to 24-bit, 48,000 hertz. This is important if you are a streamer or recorder. You want to make sure that it's set to 48,000, the same as OBS will most probably be set up to. So you want to make sure that you're around 48,000 hertz. Anything high really doesn't really matter. So you just want to make sure you keep it at 48,000. And then spatial sound I have off. Okay. Now the important one is under enhancements. Now you may not have the enhancements tab, but I also didn't have this enhancements tab, and this is where I want to link another video from Art is War. That was what I was talking about at the start. I'm going to leave it in the video description. Just watch where he talks about how he enables this. It's via using a PowerShell command. It's very easy to do, and he explains it perfectly fine. So I'd prefer you to go over there and show him some support. Watch his video, because I need to thank him for doing this for me, because I didn't know you could do this, and you definitely want to do this. You want to get this enhancements tab, so I will leave that in the description down below. But once you have it and you have this enabled, okay, you want to go down to where it says loudness equalization and have it ticked. You want to go to settings, and you want to have it set to short, and then click OK. This is something Artis War recommended, and this is something I took from him. I think it's really, really good. I don't know if he has it in his recent video, but I still have it, and I think it's really handy for basically my setup at least. Okay, so please show him some support, and again, please just watch the way he enables enhancements. Okay, because you do need that done. Okay, so once this is done, click apply, click OK. Again, make sure you do take note of what this says, and then click OK. Now we just need to download two applications. Okay, one is going to be called Equalizer APO, and the other one is going to be from Tokyo Dawns, and it is their audio compressor. All right, so I'm going to leave again these also in the description down below. Okay, all in one area, so it's easy to access. Just need to download both of them. So starting from Equalizer APO, you just want to click the big green download. Okay, it's going to say download will start shortly, and then once it counts down, it should just appear down here. You should start seeing it download. There we go. It asks you to save it. I'm going to save everything to the desktop, so click save. Mine goes up here under downloads, but yours, if you're using something like Chrome, may come below. But yeah, just download it. You don't need to fill any of this stuff in. Just wait for it to download, and then we want to move on to the next one. So this is the Tokyo Dawns Records audio plugin. This is basically a compressor. On this website, you want to go where it says free download, and then you want to click the top one, which is called Windows Installer, not the Windows No Installer. You want to click on Windows Installer, obviously, if you're using a Windows. Okay, if you're a Mac, and then most people would go with Mac, but I can't show you how to install it because I don't run a Mac. All right, but let's just go Windows Installer, click on that, click accept and download. Again, it's going to come up here, save it to your desktop, and that's now going to start to download too. All right, so both of these are now downloaded. You can see both of these are done, and now we can come off this and start installing them. Okay, so now they have downloaded on the desktop, both are here. All right, we just want to first go to the TDR one and right click and go on extract all. Okay, and then extract. It's going to bring up a folder, all right, like so. You can see the folder also here. Just double click on this exe file. It's going to bring a black screen. I'm just going to click yes. Then we're going to click next. We're going to accept and agree. Click next. Click next. And then when you get to this bit where it says full installation, you don't need to install all of this. So I just deselect the 32 bits and also this 64-bit AAX plugin because I don't need that. And just keep the 64-bit versions of the VST plugins. All right, so these two. Click next again. And here is where you do want to take note of this installation file path, because we're going to need this for later on. So you want to right click on it, click copy, and then bring up a notepad. So click start, type in notes, bring up the best match called notepad, Control V, paste that in there. All right, and then click file, save as, and I'm just going to save it to the desktop and just call it setup. You can call it whatever you want. Just save something there so you have that later on. All right, then click next, and next, and next, and install, and we're all good to go. Click finish. That one is now installed. So we can come off that, and you can highlight both of the TDR folders and remove them. We do not need them anymore. And then we just now need to double click on the equalizer APO one. Again, we're going to get a black screen. Click yes, and then we just go through this. Then we click next, agree, next, and install. And this is the important part when the configurator comes up. Now, you know when I told you to remember your speakers when we opened up our sound settings? That is where you need to now know this. So I've got a load of things here, right? But I'm going to be looking for a specific one, which is the one we showed before. So for me, it's going to be the speakers iFi HD. That's the one I took note of, and it says default device APO can be installed. Again, click and start SYS dot CPL. Yeah, brings that up. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. The default device, that's that one here. I'm going to tick on that and then click OK. Yeah, and it's going to, this dialog can be reopened at any time by launching. Yep, OK. And we're done. Yeah, so now it's going to go and ask you to reboot. Please do that. So either just save this to watch later, give it a like or something along those lines, just so you can come back to it and look at your history, right? And we're going to do that now. Okay, so now back on the desktop, we no longer need the equalizer APO setup file, so I'm going to just pop that in the real recycling bin too, and we only now got the text file which we need. So now we're going to click on start, and to find equalizer APO, you would have thought you would just type in equalizer APO, but you don't. You type in config, like so. And it's going to come up with a best match called configurator editor, and that's the one you want. So if you want to access this easily, I would mostly right click on it and pin it to the taskbar and start or something. Just pin it somewhere so you know where it is and you can access it easily. But we're just going to open up that configuration editor, and it's going to come up and look like something like this. It's going to have some random stuff on it which you do not need. So we're going to make sure we just get rid of all this first. So I'm just going to click the little remove and remove this and remove this, just so it looks like this. We've got a plus sign, nothing altered, everything is now just been removed. Okay, and then again, device will say default, and then whatever your device you're using, everything should be all nice and ready to go. So we're only going to be adding one thing on here. All right, so we go to add filter, and we want to go down to where it says plugins, and we want to go into where it says VST plugin. All right, from there it's going to say no file selected. We want to click on the little blue type folder thing here and click on that. Right, this is now where we need to find that plugin. So you can see here we've got the setup, well, the notepad we made. If we open this up and copy that installation file we copied before and then paste it in here, Control V, and click enter, we now get taken to where we need to be, which is the TDR one. Click on this, click on open, and we've now added that VST plugin. Okay, now to just configure the plugin itself, we just need to click on open panel, and it'll bring up the sound settings here. Tick apply automatically and tick apply. And then once we've done that, we can now move on to the actual settings. So we want to first change the threshold. If you just click on it and then type in -35 and then press enter, and that will be the first one. We then want to move over to where it says ratio, and then we want to click on that, and we want to click on 5 and then press enter, and that will move that over to 5.0.1. We then want to go over to the attack. We want to click on that one, and we want to type that into 1, and then we click OK. And then the next one is makeup. We want to click on that one. We then want to type in 8, and again press enter and click apply. You can see here, if it's done correctly, that this has now gone from like 0 to just above or just below 10, and it's like a kind of red kind of border. Should tell you that you've done it properly. If you just click OK, and you can come off this. Now you can test this by opening up like Spotify or listening to a YouTube video or something along those lines with sound, And then if you just click on the plus sign, add another filter, go to basic filters and do a preamp. And you can see here, you can up the gain, lower the gain. Just have something playing and then just either up it or lower it. You can see here that, you know, the line is going up and down depending on if we up it or lower it. And that'll just tell you if you're doing it correctly. You can also add a preamplification if you want to up the sound even more. But that should be more than fine the way it is. But if you want to, you can do so by increasing the gain, increasing the sound if you your sound is a little bit low. But I'm just going to click on remove because we know it's working, and that is completely done. And that is it, boys and girls. I hope this helps you. Let me know in the comment section down below if you feel the sound is a lot better after doing so. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more DMZ. See you later, guys. Thank you so much.